Good evening and welcome to another edition of Inside the Truck. I am Royston Drakes and I'll be keeping you company for the next hour. Hope that you can stay with us as we go through our paces on another edition of exciting races. We talk horse racing, we talk improvements, we talk about trying to raise the bar, we talk about everybody coming together and unite for a common cause as we try to push the king of sport here in Guyana to another level. As you can see at the bottom of your screen, there's a topic there we want to discuss this evening as well. The topic is small horse owners suffering because of the lack of opportunities. We want to hear your feedback on that in a little later on in the program. The small horse owners, stables suffering because of the lack of opportunities. We want to hear your take on that coming up a little later on. We also want to tell you about the big race meet which will be on the 28th of this month. I will give you a rundown a little later on that. But we're here to talk racing, here to bring you up to date and inform you as well. But enough of the talking. We're going to give you the first race for this evening, and that race will take you back to 2015 at Bushlot United Turf Club. That's on the west coast of the beast. The H and lower race featuring She's So Special, Love and Lover, Fresh Again, Honest Penny, Royal Empire, Amazing Love, Weekend Surprise, Set for Fame. And that race was eventually won by Sent From Above. It was a nice race at a small track as we try to encourage all of these small tracks to get house in order, do racing and so on to help to push the sport. So that's our first race for this evening. When we come back, we start taking our calls and move from there.
Here for the H1 and lower. Remember, we have a first prize of $250,000, a second of $125,000, a third of $62,000, and a fourth of $31,000. A stakes and trophy donated by Jumbo Jet, Truck, and Auto Sale. Horses that are going. Number one, a Golden Cobra from the Sheriff Racing Stable, a Ross Stakes charge, 118 pounds. Number three, She's So Special, A. Ramnat Rides, 107 pounds. Number four, Lover, Y. Triple Rides, 109 pounds. Number five, Fresh Again, a Padmore Rides, going with a top weight of 126 pounds. Number six, Sent From Above, Paul Del Rides, 121 pounds. Number seven, Honest Penny, Richmond Rides, 113. Number 8, Royal Empire, Godfrey Rides, 118, and after your program. Number 11, Amazing Love, K. Paul Rides, 113, and number 12, Weekend Surprise, Chandra Rides, 160. So those are the starters for race 2. So, and they're wrong. Yes, there goes the Golden Cobra, picked up the running, going from Sent From Above on the outside. Golden Cobra still hold on the run. Sent From Above, a point out in front there now, going with the length lead. It's Sent From Above, but then we have no other than Lover in the inside. Sent From Above going from Lover, and somebody making a goal run on the outside seems to be Honest Penny as they're heading towards the fourth lane now. It's Sent From Above going from somebody going very, very strong there, and that should be no other than Sent From Above. Still hold on to the lead. He's leading with the length now, heading around the back stretch. So we have a bunch of horses running on the outside. Lover making some good run there too. Honest Penny definitely in the running. It's Sent From Above going from Honest Penny, who is fading, and now somebody making a good Golden Cobra is making a good run on the outside too. But Sent From Above still hold on to the lead. They're running around the turn. 2 furlongs remaining for race. It's still Sent From Above. He seems to be coming quite easy at this time. But then we have a Golden Cobra coming very strong on the outside. Honest Penny making some good run too. She's So Special in the running here now. With the furlong remaining, it's Sent From Above seems to be coming home this afternoon. Seems to be leading with about 5 about this time here now. Sent From Above leading with about 6, extending Sent From Above. And it's a clear-cut winner. Somebody running very, very strong. Number 5 for running Weekend Surprise. And then we have number 8 and number 1. around the bottom turn, he seems to be fade away, allowing a scent from above against the Bronx about that point. Too long remained racing. It was scent from above was leading the air with 3. When it was a full-on remained for racing, here we could see scent from above before they extended that lead, went on to lead about 5, and as he was racing past the final pole, he was leading by 6. So scent from above, a clear cut winner.
Presentation of the trophy to the winning connections.
Yeah, sent from above. That was a wonderful race, run at a small track at Bushlock United Turf Club. We need to encourage all of these track owners and so on to continue to promote horse racing, but make sure you put some systems in place so that you can have some standard. You know, the Thoroughbred Horse Racing Committee, they've been taking steps to put racing to another level, not imposing, but putting some guidelines to govern racing, not usurping the powers of the Guyana Racing Authority, but they put in some systems in place so that all can benefit. And I think we need to support them. We need to support them. We need to support them. We're talking about microchipping horses, having proper record keeping. All of these things are important. And you know, if you have proper record keeping, you know nobody can come and cheat the system. But then the problems are when you have standard, for instance, at Rising Sun, and then you go to another club, going back to square one. Are we really pushing the sport? Are we really putting horse racing to another level? Are we really putting horse racing first? Those are the things we need to improve on. Now let me tell you about this race meet on the 28th of January. That is the Breeders' Cup. Small horses, locally bred horses, will be on show on the 28th of January at the Rising Sun Turf Club. Is the promotion by the Caribbean nations, strictly Guyanese bred horses for lucrative prizes from as low as $250,000 to the Fiji event for $1 million. Imagine these small horses now can run for $1 million as compared to the various finally Princess She's Not on these horses. Small horse. It's a good initiative. I think we can embrace it all and get on board. We also want to say thanks to Corona Top Brand. They're one of the major players in sponsoring this event, and you need to support Corona Top Brand. Big horse racing is on the 28th. I think we should have Dr. Shifun, who's one of the brains behind this event. He's going to shed some light on it, and I want you to take a good listen. In fact, he will tell you all about the added attraction, why you should be there, and what is there for you once you enter into a raffle. Take a look.
The Caribbean Nation Group is planning a race basically for Guyanese people, for those classes of horses that has never had the chance to run for large purses. We're giving them a chance to run for large purses at our event. Our event is the brainchild to give back to the poorer class persons, to let them have the opportunity to feel what it feels like to win an event of this caliber that has this class of purse money, the trophy, and the fame that comes with it to win a classic event in the horse racing arena. Adding to that, we want, as my colleague would normally say, we try to promote equality and equity among sports patrons. We don't want the horse racing to seem, as it's normally coined, the sports of kings. We want it to be the sports of you people that go to horse racing every day. That is why one of our featured activity is a raffle drawing of a horse, where you can win a horse of $5,000 Guyana. And normally when you hear $5,000, you think for a horse that's US. But you're getting that horse for $5,000 Guyana. Adding to that, I often tell people that I'm a horseman by birth and I'm a doctor by profession. And being a horseman by birth, everyone in the horse racing arena knows that once Dr. Chifoon is attached to something when he's promoting horse racing, it's a big event. If it's a small thing just for persons to come out and bring out the horse just us to keep a couple match race, we full of grandstand once Chifoon attached to it. And that's why it runs through my vein. And I am proud to say that we have raced 3 champions, and 2 of those champions were Guyanese bred that defeated all the horses that ever came to this country from foreign lands. We have raced Flashmonger and North Star, 2 champions, and that's one of the main reasons I believe that Guyanese breeders can do it.
Yeah, I'll be back with you on Inside the Track. The lines will be open in a short while from now. The topic is on the screen there. Is small horse owners suffering because of the lack of opportunities? We want to hear your feedback. I don't want persons to meet me on the road and say that they have no race to small horse owners and them big buys only care about themselves and they want to make the race. I don't want to hear the complaint. I want to hear how we can improve collectively. And if you have the opportunity, viewing me at this point, pick up the phone. The number is at the bottom right of your screen. Call us, give your take, and I want to caution persons when they call to take the volume of the television down so we will have a feedback. And I also want to encourage persons who have intentions of calling. When you do so, just be courteous, be respectful for each other, and just curb your language. Don't call with a haste and try to be arrogant and so on. We will not tolerate that. Let's keep it civil. Let's be nice to each other. But we're here for racing. We're here with intention. This program is geared strictly to develop horse racing in Guyana, not to take anything away from the Guyana Horse Racing Authority. This organizing committee is not taking anything from the Guyana Horse Racing Authority. In fact, this horse racing committee is trying to work with the Guyana Racing Authority to push the sport to another level. I mean, it's 2018, people are saying we need to get legislations. We need to get legislation in place. But how can we have legislation in place when we cannot run a race without a person encroaching on the track? We cannot run a race without a man trying to cheat a pound or 2 here. We cannot run a race without somebody trying to say that this horse name changed today. But when you do check, this horse running under another name for the longest while. Those are some of the little glitches that we have to get right if we want to push the king of all sport to another level. We also streaming live, so you can grab the opportunity, ask your questions there, and then we answer it during the break. We're going to take you back to the track. The G1 and Lower race was a close photo finish between Rosetta and Release the Beast. That was again at the Bushrat United Turf Club. For a while now, Bushrat United did not hold the race for a little while. We're hoping that they can actually get back in the thing of racing and pull off a few races for us. Release the Beast, Campador, Sent from Above, Rosetta. It was a classic, and as I said, it was a photo finish between the Beast and Rosetta, stable companions. Let's take a look at this race.
Release the Beast. A-Ram takes charge. 1-2-1 pumps. Horse number 2 from the Sheriff Racing Stable. Campador, written by C. Ross. 1-2-1 pumps. Number 2, Campador. Ross takes charge. 1-2-1 pumps. Horse number 3 from the Elsing Stable. Sent from Above, written by R. Richmond. 1-1-1 pumps. Number 3, Sent from Above. Richmond up. 111 pounds. Number 4, Fresh Again, is doubtful runner. Horse number 5 from the Jumbo Jet Racing Stable. That's Rosetta, written by P. Del. 1, 2, 3 pounds. Number 5, Rosetta. Paul Del takes charge. 1, 2, 3 pounds. Yes, the starters have set them go. And Quick is destroyed. No. Well. Something has gone amiss. Something has gone amiss. And what happened? Jockeys, if you are hearing me, a horse has been running loose. Horse number 2, Campador, has dislodged his jockey in the starting stall, and he has been running loose. So it's for your own safety. Be careful. And up the back stretch they go. And it's sent from above on the outside. It's sent from above, blue leads. A back up sent from above there. It is Release the Beast. It's Release the Beast now has been released, and he goes half a length there. But now, still, it's Release the Beast now. From set from above. Half a length around the turn here. In splendid isolation. And the Beast is going like a rose right out in front. It's still Release the Beast. Release the Beast is going some 2.5, 3 length clear. And they are now straight up the hook. This spread across the track. Release the Beast on the outside. Sent from above by the center of the course, and he's coming back from low. Let's Release the Beast sent from above. Release the Beast sent from above. Release the Beast sent from above. Rosetta is also coming with a late flourish. 50 meters to go. It's Release the Beast. Here comes Rosetta with a big run. Rosetta is getting it. When the boy asks Release the Beast to go about his business, Release the Beast responded by going some 2.5 length clear. As they're angled down the old straight up the hook, it was still a Release the Beast some 2 lengths clear of sent from above. Rosetta was then produced on the near side rail, and inside the final 50 meters are there about. We did saw Rosetta came with a devastated turn of foot to get up on the nick of time to win it from stable companion Release the Beast.
Birthday, Mr. Surge. Happy birthday to you, IC. Right, manners and respect.
I was way back in time. Those horses, some of them are still around, still getting into winners enclosure. I'm here tuned to Inside the Track, where we bring you all the developments that are taking place in the local racing authority. And we also seek the opportunity to inform you on some of the developmental plans that are in the pipeline, some of the races that are on the cards, and hope that you can come out and support. We also want to hear from you as star fights out there. How can we improve the King of Sport in Guyana? We also want to hear, particularly this afternoon, from those small stables. We complain a lot. No race in the making for we, no race is not for us. I can't afford to rear a horse for the longest while, and then we have already track it, prepare a horse for a whole 2 weeks or what have you, and then the rain fall a week before the event wash out and all of these things. I mean, those are some genuine issues. But for the small horse owners, they need help. The race meet that is coming up on the 28th is a way to really kickstart an initiative which will see two other events after that one will be held subsequently. So there is room for small stables, small horse owners, Guyana bred horses, strictly Guyana bred horses. So cash in, pay attention to all the advertisement, get your newspapers, get your facts. If you know you never register your horse, it's a wonderful opportunity now to register. You understand? Because things are in the pipelines. Things are in the pipelines. So changes are on the way. And if you want to embrace change, to take the sport to another level, perfect opportunity. Get the Rising Sun. Touch base with the Thoroughbred Horse Racing Committee. They can give you some good guidelines how to move things forward in the right way. I mean, they're not imposing, it's just guidelines. You know, and if all the other clubs could adopt the same guidelines that are currently in place at the Rising Sun Turf Club, I mean, horse racing will be heading somewhere, and then we can say, all right, let me give ourselves the first quarter, and if we see improvement, we can say, all right, within another 2 months, we could approach the authorities and said, look, I think we could modify a little thing here in terms of the legislation, and we could do a little piece here, but I think we're ready. So let's use the first 5 months or the first 6 months of this year to really put all hands on deck, put our money where our mouth is, that we really want to change and we really want legislation and so on. And then call in the authorities and say, look, we're ready, and this is what we're doing. Everything is out there for all to see, and then we take it from there. I mean, there are lots of benefits that can be derived from horse racing. We're talking about job creation. It's a good tourism event. It's also a good opportunity for local people to get involved in the sport. But I mean, again, we have to say, and we say this quite frankly, that we need to have systems in place if we want to have all of these improvements that we are forecasting. Back to racing we go. The President's Cup 2015, that was at the Rising Sun Turf Club. Today we want to touch all the tracks, or race from basically all the tracks around. So we move into the Rising Sun Turf Club now. This race features Little Party Time, Liquid Lion, Red Region, Golden Kiss, Famous Pride, and it was actually won by Red Jet. And Red Jet was a cart horse from Georgetown, and a lot of people always ref for Red Jet while Red Jet's on the track. And Red Jet actually pulled off a ton of big surprise. That was back in 2015, the inaugural President's Cup. Let's look at this race.
From the Samsung Star Step Out, that's Red Jet, ridden by Young Sundar, followed there by horse number 11, and that's Party Time. White Rapal have his legs up, there by horse number 9, and that's Little. Here goes horse number 1. That's Liquid Lion. Here goes horse number 6. And that's Famous Pride, ridden by Ajay. Horse number 5 should read Red Region. Please take note. Red Region, ridden by Wills. Followed by horse number 10, Golden Kiss. Chichester, Mr. Chichester, the horse with number 2 Saddle Clock. Quincy, please take note that horse number 2 should read Quincy and not Royal Stallion. And the connections of Quincy, those persons holding on to the rein of Quincy, please clear the track. And away they go to a level break. And hustling up then out in front, it seems to be on the near side's Liquid Lion. It seems to be Liquid Lion who was the call. It's the Lion out in front. Pursued there by Red Jet is also making a good fight on the outside. They now begin to level up the back straight. And also Red Region is also trying to come through with a good run too. It is still, Little is also playing a good hand there. Up the back stretch they go. And it is still the one who is making the run. It seems to be Famous Pride is also there. Then comes Regina. It's Regina now comes through to take up the running. But Red Jet is hot in his heel. And now in position beginning to change rapidly. And Red Jet now hits the front. And look what the horse coming all the way from the east bank of the Mora here at the Rising Sun is doing. And it's Red Jet. Red Jet now seems to be going the best. 100 meters to go. And it's all over bar. They shouted because Red Jet now punch out. The pin is punching up. 25 meters to go. And Red Jet gets it from Regina. Red Jet just get up from party time. Consistent horse Red Jet who has come all the way from the east bank of the Loire to do battle here at the Rising Sun. And look at the connections of Red Jet. They're all jumping for joy and they're quite ready, deserve to be in such a wonderful mood. Red Jet has been living from strength to strength. And what more would we say about Red Jet? He has dominated here today. He was beaten 2 Sundays ago at the Port Run Turf Club.
Yeah, Red Jet sprinting away in convincing fashion at the end. Winning from Liquid Lion, Red Region, Golden Case, Famous Pride, and others. You know, a wonderful race held at the Rising Sun Turf Club. We want to keep the momentum going in terms of racing and bringing you up to date with all the developments in the sport. As I said before, the 28th is the time, the opportunity for all to embrace a lovely small event. Small in terms of getting small horse owners involved, but big in terms of the prize money and so on. And I want you to embrace that right down to the 28th of January at the Rising Sun Turf Club. Millions up for grabs from race 1, from 250,000 to as far as $1 million. So make that a date, circle it on your calendar, and make sure you get onto the Rising Sun Turf Club. I want to show you what will normally take place at the Rising Sun Turf Club for those who haven't went to a race just yet. This is what has happened there. The feature event, C-Class and Old President's Cup. This was when the boss ruled at the Rising Sun Turf Club, beating the then Guyana Cup champion, CP Got Even. And that race was a race to the end. At racing, at any one of the tracks, have good side attraction. It's like a total family event. Tourism, good family event. So if you miss any one of the races, this is a perfect opportunity for you to start coming to racing. As I said before, we have the topic there. Small horse owners, stables, suffering because of the lack of opportunity. What can be done to encourage locally bred horses, local stables to actually get involved and know that, look, our investment will worth the while at the end of the day. I want you to call and tell us that after this race. This is CP Got Even, Boss, Princess She's Not, Split Fire, all these big thoroughbreds at the President's Cup Race Meet 2015 at the Rising Sun Turf Club.
Weights and jockey. The feature event on today's card, the C-Class and lower, 1600 meters. Those that are going, number 2, CP Got Even, written by Simple, 123 pounds. Number 2, CP Got Even, Simple takes charge, 123 pounds. Horse number 3, Diplomatic Cat, and please take note that Diplomatic Cat number 3 will be having saddle cloth number 1. Please take note, number 3, Diplomatic Cat will be having saddle cloth number 1, and Diplomatic Cat written by Blake, 121 pounds. Horse number 4, Street Princess, written by Jay Sukan, 121 pounds. Number 4, Street Princess, Sohan takes charge, 121 pounds. Horse number 5, 3D, ridden by P-Del, 113 pounds. Number 5, 3D, Paul Del takes charge, 113 pounds. Horse number 6, Jacket My Style, P. Ram Not Up, 111 pounds. Number 6, Jacket My Style, Ram Not Up with 111 pounds. Horse number 7, Lady Budapest, ridden by Ajay, 108 pounds. Number 7, Lady Budapest, Ajay takes charge, 108 pounds. Horse number 8, California Strike, ridden by Japal, 111 pounds. California Strike, Japal takes charge, 111 pounds. Horse number 9, Just Call Me Boss, ridden by N. Mohammed, 111 pounds. Number 9, Just Call Me Boss, Mohammed takes charge, 111 pounds. Horse number 10, Spitfire, C. Ross Up, 111 pounds. Number 10, Spitfire, Ross takes charge, 111 pounds. And on the outside, horse number 12, Bridlestone Corner, ridden by Japal, 108 pounds. Bridlestone Corner, Japal up, 108 pounds. And those are the starters, weights, and jockey for the feature event on today's card. And away they go for the 2015 President Cup here at the Rising Sun Turf Club. The track is a very, very fast surface, and they are now beginning to pass the stand for the first time. And doing so is Calvi Bass. It's Calvi Bass who was the call. Back of Calvi Bass, ducting there now. It seems to be California Strike. Then comes Spitfire, but now it's now Calvi Bass now from Spitfire who raises into second. Calvi Bass, Spitfire. Then comes on the outside CP Got Even. Behind CP Got Even now the field begins to bunch up. I can see making a dash there is 3D. But now they are racing up the back stretch of the course and they are going at a very, very blistering gallop. And it is out in front. It's still Calvi Bass. It's Calvi Bass. And on the outside now it seems to be Spitfire. Back of Spitfire comes Diplomatic Cat. Behind Diplomatic Cat there is Street Prince. Behind Street Prince now the remainder runner begin to tail off. But now away from the two and it is still Calvi Bass out in front. It's Calvi Bass who has the call. Spitfire is giving chase and here comes CP Got Even with a big run on the front of the course. They're having exactly 150 meters to go. And it is CP Got Even.
Them no in my leg, no in my leg. Them I put a little bit of money now in the ring somewhere, and so them I leave no in my leg, no in my leg. Them two so them I leave. Man up for them why you head and gone, this why you go your head and gone. Them up me up see everyone gone, so when them see me on the top, you know me one gone.
The presentation to Chris Jackdale, the owner of Calvi Bass.
Watch your side, man.
And there goes the flashes of the cameras.
Well, yes, because I take him out from his class race and put him up. The race that he ran at Portman, he was very impressive. And for the previous 2 times he ran before Portman, he had bled. So we knew coming into this race we had a good chance because of Princess, she's not scratching. I know he would be the pace in the race. So we had our chance and we took it.
Tell me where's the feelings like in the camp winning this race?
Well, we had, from the time we imported this as, we had high expectation of him. And as you know, he came in, he win and he ran a second. And he flapped on two occasions and now he went back to back. So it's pretty good because we have really high hopes in this as.
Beating CP, what is this for your stable and for the sport?
Well, as we could say, CP has proven herself
a very good horse, if not the best in Guyana, up to date. But we knew on our day, we would take her on, and with the pace not in the race of Princess She's Not, we knew we had an exceptional chance going a mile on the small track.
Yeah. CP was beaten there. I think this is the first time that's called me boss actually at CP. That was the first time, I think. That was some race coming down to the finish, and CP was coming off a series of wins at the Port Moran Turf Club. I think CP won the Guyana Cup fever, I think, and then the Guyana Cup in 2015, if my memory serves me right. So CP was coming off a high, and then the boss ran like a boss and snatched victory just at the finish line at the Rising Sun Turf Club at the inaugural President's Cup, which was held in 2015. And you know, we're talking small horses and races and how could we improve, and you know, the bar is being raised by the Thoroughbred Racing Committee for local horse racing, not an imposition, just some basic guidelines that can really help to improve and develop horse racing in Guyana. I think for too long we've been complaining about so many things when we are at the track, but let's take it upon ourselves to improve and improve in every way. And I want to give you the opportunity. The lines are open. The lines are open. You can start calling. The small horse racing stables suffering because of the lack of opportunities. Opportunities in this sense. There's not enough race for them. Some tracks don't keep races, particularly for some small horses regularly. I mean, most of the track will keep a race or two. But you think you're getting enough opportunities to really like take this as an investment and raise 4, 5, 6 horses, knowing that at the end of the day you could race once a month, you can get a little return and so on. You know, based at the bottom right of the screen, I want to hear your feedback. 337-1970, 337-1971. You can call those numbers and let's hear from you on this edition of Inside the Track. We're talking Thoroughbred racing in Guyana, we're talking improvement, we're talking about standard, we're talking about record keeping, we're talking about bringing in, sending one of our experts here to be trained in Trinidad to on a specific software where we can have proper record keeping, have data in place on each horse. We're talking also about having the horses microchip. And you know, when the horse is microchip, you can know all the information needed about the horse. We have to start somewhere, and I am pleased to be associated with the initiative taken primarily by my good friend Mr. Junior Mohammed from the Jungle Jets Racing Stable, but more so the Thoroughbred Racing Committee, which was recently formed, looking at specific ways how they can actually improve horse racing in Guyana from, let me put it this way, from the grassroots level right up to the top, right? I want to get your feedback as we talk inside the track, but let's go to another race, keeping you in the racing spirit. We got another race. We take you now to the Kennards Memorial Turf Club. Kennards Memorial Turf Club, yeah. That race was a feature event. It was won by Split Fire, but it had Lady Budapest was coming strong, making it a close finish. In that race, it had Fire in Line, Big Man Boss, right? Big Man Boss was making a lot of noise coming down to the end too in that race. Lady Budapest passed last week. Yeah, Lady Budapest passed last week. And it's a good opportunity for the owners to sympathize with that family. You know, horse racing is a huge investment. We sympathize with the family, and we hope that you can go from strength to strength and don't give up on racing. I mean, it's hard for me to tell you that because I'm not in your position, but I just want to encourage you at this time. And I hope that this race can actually help to lift your spirits in some way. Split Fire, Lady Budapest, down to the finish line, Ken Asmova Turf Club. That was Boxing Day 2015. Here's that race.
Number 1, Lady Butterpass, Richmond rides 108 pounds. Number 3, Goodwill Boy, Paul Delft rides 111 pounds. Number 5, Spitfire, C. Ross rides 111 pounds. Number 6, Keep On Swinging, P. Ramnath rides 108 pounds. Number 7, Africanus, R. Ramnath rides 108 pounds. Number 8, Rosetta, Y. Jabal rides 108 pounds. Number 9, It's My Choice, K. Paul rides 111 pounds. Number 10, Diplomatic Cut, Padmore rides 100 number 11, Big Man Boss, Blake's rides 111 pounds. So those are the starters for this, the C-class and lower event.
Spitfire pick up the running from his inside. Here we have Big Man Boss in the center of the track. They're rushing past us there now. Diplomatic Cat is picking up the running too. It's Diplomatic Cat from Big Man Boss. They're running around this line here now. Diplomatic Cat and Big Man Boss. They're running the left side here. Big Man Boss going into the lead again. It's Big Man Boss from Diplomatic Cat and somebody making some good runs on the other side there too. It seems to be no other than this one here.
It was Diplomatic Cat and Big Man Boss was going up the back stretch. They was going neck by neck, head by head. 5-1-3-6. Yes, and when it was racing up, still it was Diplomatic Cat and Big Man Boss. They was running up the back stretch, turning around the top turn. The two of them still was there, and position never really changes. Swinging for home, position start to change. Where we could see Spitfire was coming with tremendous force, and then we could have saw from the inside it was Lady Butterpass. Good running as the two was battling out. Spitfire was in a head lead over Lady Butterpass. When they raced past the final pole here, it was no other than Spitfire and Butterpass. They was coming neck and neck. Look.
especially sweet for the Sheriff Racing Stable. I mean, that was around the same time when Mr. Nanku Sheriff passed, and then his horses won a series of events, series of races at various tracks across the country. Caller, good night, you live. Good night.
Can you please put down back one more race?
I will. Yeah, and then the Sheriff Stable won a series of races. From then onwards, you had Plum winning Splitfire, you had Princess She's Nod. All of these horses did fairly well after the passing of Mr. Nanku Assad, who was the sheriff. The lines are going. We want to encourage you to call. Call good night, you live. Hello? Yeah, when you call, just make sure the volume of your television down and just make sure that you prepare to talk with us on the other end of the line. We're talking horse racing. Are there enough opportunities for small horse racing stables? Are there enough opportunities for small horse racing stables? If so, if not, tell us how can that be improved. We want to hear your feedback as we prepare for this big horse racing meeting, which is coming up on the 28th of January for strictly local bred horses. Caller, good night, you live. Hello?
Hello?
Good night, caller, you live.
Yeah.
You want to contribute to our topic tonight?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Okay, let me hear what your take.
Yeah, people are really pleased.
Could you turn the volume of your television down for me, please? Thanks. Hello? Yeah. Are there enough opportunities for small horse owners in the sport of Kings in Guyana? Various racing stables, for instance, the Jumbo Jet horse racing stable, they have been promoting the Guyana Cup and giving opportunities to all to be involved. Caller, good night, you live.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
That was
good
night. That was night.
Tell me the future event for the Guyana bred race is going to be a mile race.
I am not too sure. I can get an answer for you for the next program, but I doubt it is a mile. I'm not too sure.
Okay, because...
Hello?
Because... Pardon?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, I said because of the Guyana bred, they should have made it a mile.
They should make it a mile. And all that is on the card. As I said, I did not pay attention to the program, the initial program, so I can't say right now if it's a mile. But I can gather information for you for the next program. But you planning on bringing a horse there?
Yes, brother.
Okay. Alright, tell me something. Do you believe there's a lack of opportunity for you as a small horse stable or a small horse owner?
Yes, in a sense, because most people are focused on the bigger races for the bigger port. And they left which you will have more horse in the lower race, which you could invest the same money and run more lower races for horses. Because if you realize that the class has dropped from DCH with horse imported, so you find the lower class horses, the chances to A class gone to I class.
Okay.
So, I don't know if it could make sense, but that's my view.
Alright, boss. Thanks for coming through.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're talking horse racing. How can, are there enough opportunities for small horse racing stables, small horse owners who want to get into the sport? Call good night, you live.
Good night.
Good night. The volume of your television, please. Thanks.
One more.
Turn the volume of your television down, please. Thanks. Yeah, we can put on one more race. You want to contribute to the topic?
Yeah?
You into horse racing?
Yeah, I don't have it, man. I got it.
You don't have a horse?
No, but we're going to be steady. I like it, like before.
Alright, tell me something since you go to race steady. What do you think we need to improve on? Is there any specific area of improvement you think is needed at the various race tracks?
Yeah, like before and thing. Like before and thing, got to race and thing. Like that race, man.
Alright, boss.
But now, wow.
Thanks for coming, Jim. Yeah, phone. Call of the night, your life.
Okay.
Good night, your volume your television, please. Thanks. Hello? Hello? Credit down, buddy. Yeah, you tune to Inside the Track. We have about another 4 minutes before we wrap up. We want to get your feedback. Are there enough opportunities for small horse owners, trainers? Call out on IG Live. Hello? Yeah, when you call, just make sure that the volume of the television is down, and then you can go right ahead and we can talk. Call out on IG Live. Hello?
Good night.
Good night, boss.
Yes, sir. I'm looking at what really put up there and if I get out of the television and tell people that they are very good. They might already get.
We know, but if you listen to what I said before, you would have understand that we taking a look back at some of the races from way back, right? As we trying to improve horse racing in Guyana. We're looking at the various tracks and seeing some of the deficiencies, some of the difficulties with crowd control and all of these things. And we try to get feedback from persons how we can actually improve. Right?
Yeah, because we just follow up the artist. And the next one you got, the next thing at Jumbo, when you got the Jumbo, the people can ask from body. When we say ask from body over there, they're looking at this one into the new class, I can people can't get it on the mark with the guys there.
Alright. But
I want to see people talking about the other reason before.
Alright. But
I think all over before. And for example, that the bigger people want to run the research, the step of the new class system, I'm not talking about talking about, that was before. The class people who can't get to run the race. The people are still over there, they can't run because the step of the arts and the research and what is them.
Alright. I want to ask you 2 quick questions. You got a horse, right?
No, I step out, I follow up the races, I love the sport.
Okay. Alright. Since you love the sport, what can you do as a racing fan to improve? What can you do as a racing fan to help those who are involved in racing to improve?
I little fan of you, yeah, I say a poor man, but I love the sport.
So if you see somebody doing something wrong and is not keeping within the norms of horse racing, you will not say to them, look, Tom Jones, you need to do this, so you can't change this horse name. You go to the racetrack, you see people on the track, you wouldn't say to them, man, hey man, they can't get on the track, you think that look good or so. You wouldn't advise nobody in no way, man.
Because one is very good, because sample of mentality. You never start out to buy it. You see a man from a bill.
Alright, boss.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's take another caller. Yeah, we're going to take 2 more quick calls and then we're going to wrap up. We're talking how can we improve. Is there enough opportunities for small horse owners, trainers, stables and so on in Guyana? We'd like to have your feedback. We take another call and then we wrap up. But before we go, I want to leave you with this race specifically. It's a race between Score Even, Diplomatic, Cat, CP Got Even, Run Nana Run, Just Call Me Boss, Jack in My Style. It was at the Portman Run Turf Club. It was the Guyana Cup Fever 2015. It was won by CP Got Even. That is the race we take or leave with this evening. And we'll be back with you on Thursday for another edition of Inside the Track. Do have a pleasant weekend. See you back here next Thursday.
Diplomatic Steve Wright, 111 pounds.
The undisputed A-class champion of Guyana, Scores maximum trip here this afternoon. It left to be seen how well and how courageous his score even. But people got even run on a run. I think along with Jack in my style, of course, diplomatic got hurt before, but I was told that he's a very good horse, useful customer, has great pedigree, and he also must be in with an outstanding chance.
Everyone, dear, open straight the front seems to be as somebody